Motivation only gets one started. To accomplish something, we need to put in work. There often aren't any shortcuts to attaining a significant goal. We may be highly motivated, but we'll get nowhere if we don't act. Many people struggle with engaging in repetitive action over a period necessary to achieve their goals. These people lack what's probably the missing key to the door leading to accomplishment: self-discipline. Discipline generally gets a bad rep, as it sounds unromantic and tiresome, reminding us of the strict regimes of militaries and boarding schools. But self-discipline gets the job done. The Stoics considered discipline a virtue, along with other related qualities like perseverance, endurance, high-mindedness, and self-control. The Stoics favored hard work and spending their days wisely. Marcus Aurelius points to nature, concluding that we naturally tend to be hard-working. Stoic philosophy that may help develop self-discipline focuses on three dimensions, if you will, namely self-control, work, and aim, praised by the ancient Stoics and embedded in Stoic philosophy. They knew that living in agreement with nature meant for us humans using our bodies and minds appropriately, being productive, active, and contributing to the whole. So how do we build self-discipline according to Stoic philosophy? Let's explore some relevant Stoic ideas. Self-control is a vital part of being self-disciplined. Through self-control, we can restrain ourselves from not doing things we shouldn't be doing. Unfortunately, we have no control over the distractions life throws at us, but we have control over how we position ourselves towards the things we cannot control. No matter how much we try to resist, the world will always have plenty of things to offer that potentially grab our attention and persuade us to change our minds about our choices. Of course, we can influence the number of distractions we're exposed to by limiting our contact with the outside world and arranging our living environment accordingly. But ultimately, the outside world, including our close environment, is up to fortune. So what can we do? We can bolster ourselves against inevitable distractions, reinforcing our resolve to finish what we wish to finish. Self-control takes practice. We must master it through exposure and repetition, so we invigorate our ability to restrain. If these temptations have no or limited power over us, we experience what the Stoics call freedom, the freedom to do what we intend to do. From the Stoic perspective, work is not only important, it's also what we're designed to do. Therefore, the Stoics consider industriousness a virtuous characteristic. It's in our nature to work. They believe in his meditations. Marcus Aurelius repeatedly reminds himself of his tasks as emperor and as a human being. At dawn, when you have trouble getting out of bed, tell yourself, I have to go to work. As a human being, what do I have to complain of if I'm going to do what I was born for, the things I was brought into the world to do? Or is this what I was created for, to huddle under the blankets and stay warm? Of course, we can't toil day and night. We also need to sleep and relax. So there's a time for relaxation and a time for work. Courage is a cardinal virtue in Stoicism. The Stoics subdivide courage into endurance, confidence, high-mindedness, cheerfulness, and industriousness. Industriousness is a vital part of being self-disciplined. If we're working towards a goal, just self-control isn't enough. We need to be industrious and do what needs to be done consistently. How can we prevent ourselves from being lazy and procrastinating? Laziness means a lack of love for oneself or one's natural tendency. A lazy person doesn't love that he's naturally inclined to be industrious. If he did, he'd embrace his nature and get to work. After all, it has been a natural, inherent part of human life since the dawn of time, although in different forms and intensities. Nature has given each of us unique characteristics. From a Stoic point of view, our task is to honor and use them productively and to serve the whole. As Seneca stated, life is short, and we're wasting most of it. To truly get going, we need a finish line to run towards, a star in the sky, whatever it may be, to climb towards. The easiest way to live an undisciplined life is not having a specific goal. As Marcus Aurelius stated, there is likewise another sort of roving to be avoided, for some people are busy and yet do nothing. They fatigue and wear themselves out and yet aim at no goal, nor propose any general end of action or design. In the modern world, we just spend our time and energy on mainly short-term pleasures, and we work simply to keep riding the hamster wheel of small pleasures and consumerism. To many people, life seems pointless and achieving something bigger, like realizing their dreams and ambitions, seems impossible. Likely they're missing aim, which could be because of fear of failure, but also because nowadays there's so many options that it's difficult to choose one direction. Choosing one particular goal and letting everything else slide benefits those drifting in the wastelands of modernity. Will we, out of aimlessness, let others make choices for us, even though we can make our own? Or will we exploit our only true power, which is our ability to choose and act? Being self-disciplined becomes much easier if we have a strong and clear aim. And it all starts with your thinking. To think well requires that you practice a couple of techniques. The rule is that fast decisions are usually wrong decisions, especially fast decisions involving people or money. So if you're going to make a decision that has long-term consequences, then you have to give it a lot of thought. The more carefully you think about a decision, the better the quality of that decision will be when you finally make it. Superior people, through experience and through painful experience, learn to take their time in making important decisions. One of the very best ways that you can develop the discipline of clear thinking is to sit in solitude for 30 to 60 minutes when you have a major problem or a major issue in your life. You'll start to go calm, and all the energy, all the fidgetiness will disappear, and you'll just go calm. After the 30-minute point, ideas will start to flow like a river, just start to flow through your mind. If you've never done it before, the first time you do it, you'll get a result, an insight, an idea, a solution to a problem, an idea to solve a goal. Every time you sit quietly in solitude for 30 to 60 minutes, you'll get ideas that may save you years of hard work. Here's another way to think better. Take a sheet of paper, and the rule is think on paper. Write down every detail, how it happened, what's going on, the problems, the concerns, the cost, who's involved. Sometimes exactly the right choice pops out at you, it becomes clear, but you would not have triggered that superconscious solution if you hadn't taken the time to think on paper. Aristotle once said that wisdom, which is the greatest of all human desires, is the ability to make good decisions. So, reflecting on your experiences, and the best way to do that is to go for a walk. Just go for a walk for 30 or 60 minutes and reflect upon something that's going on at work or at home. You'll be amazed at the quality of ideas that will come into your mind. And here's the key to good thinking. Be open to doing something completely different. What that does is it opens up your mind and your perspective so you can see all kinds of possibilities that you may not have seen before. Clear thinking is the first discipline. It is the discipline practiced by the most successful, happiest, and wealthiest people in our society. Now, the second major discipline is the discipline of daily goal setting. If you don't have your goals in writing, then they're not ready goals at all. They're merely wishes. Write them out very specifically and clearly. Then do this every single morning. Rewrite your major goals in the first person singular as though they already existed. For instance, if your goal is to earn $50,000 a year every single morning, right? I earn $50,000 a year. And every single evening, take about 5 to 10 minutes instead of watching television. Sit down and review what you've done in the course of the day. Ask yourself, what have I done right today? That's moved me toward my goals. And what would I do differently if I had today to do over again? If you'll ask yourself those two questions in the next 30 days, you'll accomplish more than you accomplished in the last 6 months. Every time you write your goals down, you're programming them to your subconscious mind. People come up to me at every single seminar and say, it was incredible. I started to write my goals every day. I accomplished 8 of them in 6 months. I accomplished 5 in a week. I accomplished most of them within 12 months. It's transformed my life. Now, the third discipline is the discipline of courage. Because what I found over the years is that brave people, courageous people, are not people who are not afraid. They're simply people who face their fears, confront their fears. Fear and courage tend to be habits. If you're afraid and you force yourself to confront the fear, it becomes a habit to confront the fear whenever you find something that you're afraid of. Most of these fears disappear when you confront them head on. You want to demonstrate to yourself that you can face down a fear and look it square in the eye. So here's an exercise for you. Identify one fear situation in your life today and use that as your challenge. Use that as your test case. Say, you know what? I'm going to face this fear down. I'm going to hammer it. I'm going to smash it. I'm going to look it right in the eye. I'm going to deal with it direct head on like a car hitting a wall until the fear is gone. And once you've done that, you'll know that nothing that you're afraid of can stop you. Now, the fourth discipline is the discipline of daily time management. Disciplining yourself to plan your days thoroughly before you begin will save you at least 10 minutes for every minute you spend in planning. According to the research, it will increase your productivity by 25 to 50%, maybe even double your productivity. For every day that you plan, begin the discipline of daily time management by making a list. Start off with a sheet of paper again, think on paper and write down everything you have to do in the course of the day. The very best time to make this list is the night before. Often you wake up in the morning with great ideas to implement your plan. Then, organize your list by priority before you begin. Use the 80-20 rule that says that 20% of the items on your list will account for 80% of the value. It is the key to supercharging the quality of your life and your results. If you can start every morning with a list organized by priority and start on your number one task and stay with it till it's done, you will supercharge your life. You'll get twice as much done on any day where you start and complete your major task first thing than on any other day. The discipline of time management was then spread to all your other disciplines. Now, the fifth discipline is the discipline of regular saving and investing. Individuals, families, and even societies are stable and prosperous to the degree to which they save money. Begin today to save 10% of your earnings off the top and never touch it. This is your fund for long-term financial accumulation, and you never use it for any other reason except to assure your financial future. When you regularly put away 10% of your earnings, you soon become comfortable living on the other 90%. Many people start by saving 10% of their income and then graduate to saving 15%. 20%, and even more. And their financial lives change dramatically as a result. Instead of saying, I like spending money, you say, I like saving money, and you begin to think of how much you enjoy having money in the bank, how much you enjoy saving, how much you enjoy delayed gratification, how much you enjoy the idea of moving toward financial independence. Soon, you develop the habit of living on less than you earn, and you change your thinking from I enjoy spending to I enjoy saving. It's easy to lose money, but it's hard to make it and keep it, and it's the most important discipline of all. Another discipline is to pay cash as often as possible and for as much as possible. The very act of paying cash really hypersensitizes you to how much it's costing and causes you to spend less money. The primary reason why you save your money and accumulate it carefully is that it gives you two things. First of all, it gives you freedom. The second thing it gives you is opportunity. As an adult, you should always have opportunity money put aside, and when you have it, you feel great about yourself. A person with a little money feels great. A person with no money always feels inferior, anxious, worried, concerned, irritable, short-tempered. Now, the sixth discipline is the discipline of continuous learning. Yes, Peter Drucker says knowledge and skill are the keys to the 21st century, and the only thing that will be relevant. The only skill that will be relevant in the 21st century is the ability to learn new skills, because virtually everything you know is becoming obsolete at a rapid rate. If you're not continually learning and upgrading your knowledge and skills, you're not staying in the same place. If you're not constantly learning, you're actually falling behind. So here are the three keys to continuous learning. Number one is read in your field for 30 to 60 minutes each day. The very best places to read, by the way, are books written by the most successful people in your field, because books contain a wealth of riches that can enable you to function at a far higher level to get much better results than you could before. The second thing you do is take every course that you possibly can. The courses and seminars available in your field, given by professionals, have been developed over years and tested rigorously. When you take a course, you can learn enough information in 1 or 2 days more than you could learn in 2 or 3 years, or maybe even a lifetime, all distilled and put together. The third way you can upgrade your skills is to listen to audio programs in your car. The more energy you have, the bigger goals you set for yourself, the more you persist. When you invest in yourself and read, learn, and upgrade your skills, you're telling yourself, wow, I am a person with a great future, and it's up to me to maximize my potential. Now, the seventh discipline is the discipline of hard work. In the studies of self-made millionaires, they said, I didn't have better education, better talent, better knowledge, but I was willing to work harder than anyone else. Most other people are trying to get by on 5 days a week, and then during those 5 days a week, they don't work very hard at all. The harder you work, the luckier you work, the luckier you get, the harder you work, the more opportunities you have, the more doors open up to you, the more opportunities you see. If you look at an entrepreneurial startup business that's being run by somebody who's really driving it forward, you'll find that the business owner is usually the first one there. Works through the whole day, usually the last one to leave at the end of the day. The business owner's got a beautiful home, a house on the hill, beautiful cars, a beautiful life, vacations, a boat in the yacht basin. They're not lucky. They just worked all the time. If you work 3 extra hours, start earlier, work harder, stay later, you'll add 6 hours of productive work to your day,